Welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Matt.
And I am Nina. Today we're covering part 3 of the book clubs of today. And there are all sorts of clubs, right? We mentioned before. And I think it's pretty cool. I watched this movie the other day called Yes Man. And in the movie, the actress, she was in a running photography club.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not just for running, not just for exercise, and not just for photography. They combine the two together and they do photography while they're on the run.
Okay, so you can be getting exercise, but then I guess you could like share the photos with other people after and compare the photos that you took during the run.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool that as long as you find people who are interested in the same thing or more than one thing as you can have all sorts of clubs and combine different activities together.
Right, okay. Well, yeah, I think, I like watching movies.
Yeah.
And I can talk about movies with other people, but I also like riding a bike.
Okay.
So I was thinking a cycling movie club where we watch movies while we ride bikes.
I don't think that's a very safe club, but maybe you could
just, hold your phone up like this.
Maybe you could go cycling and then go watch the movies with your cycle buddies afterwards.
Oh, okay, maybe that's a better idea. We ride to the movie theater. And then we can talk about the movie after. Okay.
That sounds better.
All right, well, let's learn more about these book clubs of today after this.
Okay.
Booker asks Paige some more questions.
Are all book clubs like that now?
No, there are different kinds for different interests. My friend is in one for runners.
Wait, do the members read and run at the same time?
Don't be silly. They read a book about an area. Then they go on a run to the places in the book.
Okay, so welcome to part 3 of the book clubs of today. And in part 2, we learned that Booker ran into Paige at the bookstore and found that Paige was actually there not to buy books, but for a book club meeting. And the interesting thing about this book club is it's a silent book club where they actually don't discuss the book. They just sit together and read a book with each other's company. And they actually don't necessarily have to read the same book.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, so now Booker asks Paige some more questions. And so I will be reading what Booker says and Nina will read what Paige says. So Booker says, are all book clubs like that now?
Like that, meaning that it's silent and you don't have to read the same book. And Paige responds, no, there are different kinds for different interests. My friend is in one for runners. Okay,
so a book club for runners. Interesting.
So people who like running and that also like reading. All right, so interest is a noun and it's something you like to learn about or do. So for example, her main interest is painting. So she likes learning about it or she likes doing it. She likes painting.
And so there are different book clubs for people with different interests. And for example, she mentions one for runners. So runners would be people who are interested in running or people who run on a regular basis. Yeah. So we often see adding the ER ending to a word to mean someone who does it. So for example, someone who plays basketball is a basketball player.
Yeah.
Someone who works is a worker. Someone who teaches is a teacher. So in this case, someone who runs is a runner.
Yes.
One thing to be aware of is runners can also mean a pair of running shoes. So if someone says, I'm going to get my runners so we can go to the gym, they don't mean they're getting people who run. They are getting their running shoes.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right, so Booker says, wait, do the members read and run at the same time?
That sounds dangerous.
Sounds like a good idea, just like my movie bike club.
Yeah, let's find out. And Paige responds, don't be silly. They read a book about an area. Then they go on a run to the places in the book. Interesting. Okay, so first of all, they do not run and read at the same time because that sounds kind of dangerous. And what they do is they read about a book about an area. So maybe in that book, it mentions a specific area in Taipei or in Kaohsiung, and then they go on a run to the places in the book.
But I think that will be very difficult to do, especially if you don't live in a very big city that a lot of books are written about.
That's true.
Like maybe if you live like New York or like London, because there are many books that take place in those cities.
Yeah.
But if you're living in a place that's not as big of a city, not as well known, you're going to run out of books to read and places to run pretty quickly.
Yeah, or you would have to be flying to other countries for this club. But anyways, she says, don't be silly. Silly is an adjective. It means funny or not serious. So for example, the clown made silly faces to make the children laugh. Okay.
All right, so that is a silly idea. She said, I don't think it's that silly to read and run. I think I could do that.
Okay, I'll visit you at the hospital.
All right, well, that's an interesting club anyway, one for runners. And I think that it's a good idea to have an activity that you can do that has to do with the book, like running, or maybe you could have like a food club with a book club where if there's something written about a certain kind of food or a certain restaurant, you could go eat that food as you talk about the book.
Oh, that sounds really good to me.
All right, well, that's it for this part, but we're going to come back after the break and we'll see you then.
So they are bringing the book to life. That's exciting.
Right. Book clubs help people find new ways to spend their free time.
Maybe there's one for me.
There is, I'm sure.
Welcome back. Before the break, Booker and Paige were continuing their discussion in the bookstore, and they're talking about book clubs. So Booker had some more questions for Paige about book clubs, and Paige told him that book clubs can be for any interest, and there are many different kinds of book clubs, and there's even one for runners that she knows about. And at first, Booker thought that that was for people to read and run at the same time.
Not a good idea.
But she told him that they actually read about certain areas and then after go and run in those areas or run to those areas.
Yeah, that actually sounds pretty cool.
It does sound very interesting. And Booker says, so they are bringing the book to life. That's exciting.
Indeed it is.
So exciting means something causing great emotion and enthusiasm. So usually a happy emotion, usually something that makes you feel, a lot of energy, a lot of emotion at once, a lot of sense at once. So if something is exciting, it means you think it's pretty cool, it's something very interesting, it's something you might want to do.
Yes, and he said it's like bringing the book to life because they are actually in the exact same place where the book is supposed to take place, the story.
Right. So I remember I was reading a book about India while traveling in India, And I was actually able to go to the cafe where the main characters hang out in the book. And it's very interesting. It does help to bring the book to life as you can actually see the real locations where the book takes place.
That actually sounds super fun. So maybe I should read a book that has a specific scene, you know, in an actual real life world and, you know, go there just to experience it. So Paige responds, right, book clubs help people find new ways to spend their free time. Okay, that does sound very interesting. So a new way is a method or path to do something or get somewhere. So in this case, it's a method to, experience your book club, right? So for example, she found a new way to solve the math problem.
So this is a new way to spend your free time. So to spend something means to use up or to consume something. But we use this mostly for time and for money.
Yes.
So you can use up your time, you can use up your money, and we use the word spend. So in this case, you can spend your free time. You can also use a measurement of time, like I spent 2 hours doing my homework last night. And it works the same way with money. I spent $100 to pay my teacher to let me not do my homework.
I think doing your homework would have been easier.
Wow, we'll see. Well, Booker says, maybe there's one for me.
And Paige responds, there is, I'm sure. Yeah, because a club can really be made out of any activities as long as you find someone with the same interests.
And in this case, book clubs, if they're combining with other interests as well, then it's a great way to meet new people. And as they said, to spend your free time because there's going to be one that fits your interests.
Yes, indeed. So I think I'm gonna look for a book club myself. Maybe that combines with drawing. That would be cool. I like drawing.
That would be an interesting one. You could like draw scenes from the book as you imagine it.
Oh, that would be super cool.
That's interesting.
And then compare the pictures, see if it comes out similar or not.
I think you're onto something. Maybe you could start a book club.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Okay, well that's all for today. I hope you learned a lot about book clubs and that you can find a perfect book club for you. But we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Booker asks Paige some more questions.
Are all book clubs like that now?
No, there are different kinds for different interests. My friend is in one for runners.
Wait, do the members read and run at the same time?
Don't be silly. They read a book about an area. Then they go on a run to the places in the book.
So they are bringing the book to life. That's exciting.
Right. Book clubs help people find new ways to spend their free time.
Maybe there's one for me.
There is, I'm sure.
Hello, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 interest 名词，兴趣。Painting is one of my interests. 画画是我的兴趣之一。下一个单字 exciting 形容词，令人兴奋的。It's very exciting for Ellen to travel to Europe alone. 一个人去欧洲旅行对 Ellen 来说很令人兴奋。下一个单字 way 名词，方法，方式。Emma found a new way to solve the problem. Emma 找到了解决问题的新方法。最后一个单字 spend 动词，度过，花，什么时间。它的三态是 spend, spent, spent。 I spent the whole day in the museum. 我在博物馆度过了一整天。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 at the same time 同时，这是一个固定用法。我们来看看这个例句。My mom often does the dishes and listens to music at the same time. 我妈妈常常边洗碗边听音乐。下一个文法 go on a run 去跑步。Go on 加名词指的是从事某一个活动。Run 在这里是一个名词用法。我们来看看这个例句。My brother goes on a run every morning before work. 我哥哥每天上班前会去跑步。最后一个文法 bring something to life 赋予某事物生命，使某事物生动起来。Bring 的三态是 bring, brought, brought 指的是带来带给。Life 在这里表示生命力生气。我们来看看这个例句。The artist brought the painting to life. 这位艺术家让这幅画栩栩如生。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，回去记得复习哦。我们下一课再见，拜拜。
Hey, it's Kiwi on the street. I'm Kiki.
And I'm Winnie. Wow, this guy, he's really lost in his book.
Lost in his book? What do you mean? He's right here.
Oh, no, that means he's really into his book. He's really concentrating.
Oh, so it's another one of those phrases.
Exactly.
Let's work on some new phrases.
All right, let's work on some phrases. Our first one is 朴实的脚踏实地的. Which one do you think it is?
Down to earth.
Down
What?
to floor, maybe.
Down to floor, maybe?
Down to earth.
Maybe down to floor.
Down to floor.
Down to earth. Down to earth.
Yeah, come on. You guys got that because you guys are both correct. Very good. Okay, our next one.
闪躲.
Dog and dodge.
Dog and dodge.
Yeah, me too. Dog
You
and
also.
dog.
Dog and dodge.
What do you-
Duck and dodge.
感觉应该是 dog and dodge 吧？感觉它比较这个听起来比较好玩一点。
First one.
Okay,
Dog and dodge.
so this one?
Yes.
Dog and dodge. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So it's actually duck and dodge. What have we learned today? Hey, let's check out the phrases that we learned today. The first one is down to earth. It means someone that is decent, simple, and realistic. They are practical and straightforward people, so they don't say things that they don't mean, they don't like to lie, and they don't really like to show off. Our next phrase is duck and dodge. Now, the duck here, we're not talking about the animal. The word duck we're talking about is used as a verb, and it usually means to get down low, to get away from something. And to dodge also has the same meaning. So when you put them together, you're describing someone that is really trying to get low and get away from something. And those are the phrases that we learned today. Kiwi later!